Shut up and sit down. Hello, all you jabronis and degenerates. You're listening to Very Opinionated and Slightly Educated. My name's Luca, and as always, I'm here with my good friend Matt. Matt, how are we doing?
Good, my friend. How are you today?
Doing very well. Had a little bit of a busy day at the beginning, but everything calmed down near the end.
That's good, man. I'm the same way. You know what? Finally, for the first time in about a month, I had a busy week. Started to get on the work grind again. So I got to a little bit of that cash money in my pocket. Thank God. I was getting a little nervous there for a little bit. But you know what? It was nice to have a little bit of a routine because trust me, I was getting that cabin fever being stuck inside for.
What were you doing to pass the time?
Well, I was doing a lot of reading. I'll be honest with you. I was reading as many books as I had here. I wasn't going on a whole book exchange thing. I see that on Instagram. You know, everyone's doing that book exchange.
What are you into? You into that Dr. Seuss or something? One fish,
No,
two fish, red fish, blue fish?
I'm more of a Robert Munch kind of guy. If I gotta be or Amelia Bedelia. I love those books.
Robert Munch books are one of those things that when you go to clean up your room, then you end up diving into your closet and you pull like a Robert Munch book or something and you spend like 30 minutes to an hour just like diving into different Robert Munch books just because you're looking to do anything except actually cleaning your room.
See, but you know what? I'll be honest with you. I would have to get a refresher on what a Robert Munch book is. Like I name dropped them there, but I couldn't name you off the top of my head a book that he's fucking wrote. I'll be quite honest with you.
Oh, I can't remember.
Don't worry about it. But no, I've been reading like a little bit of some biographies in the sense of I don't know if our listeners know who I'm talking about when I say Jay Onright, but he's one of the co-hosts on TSN on the panel with him and Jay and Dan. So I was reading that. I was reading a little bit of some marketing books that my aunt was giving me, as well as this guy called Humble the Poet.
Humble the Poet?
It's this Sikh guy, I'm telling you. I think the book's called like 101 Ways of making your life, like thinking differently about your life, something on the lines of that. I got to fact check that.
So you've been reading more like real life stuff, no fiction or anything like that?
No, stories. It's all been real life stuff, honestly. Even like the business books I've been reading, it's been like pretty factual books. Like, you know what, the fiction books, unless it's a really, really eye-popping story, I get kind of
it took a quarantine to get you to read a textbook.
Dude, you know what? Never mind. Yeah, to read a book. Never mind a textbook. Anything at this point, just to read something. But no, man, it's just nice to have a fucking routine. It's nice to be, keeping busy and just keeping my mind occupied.
Well, as soon as you get back to work, you start getting used to things again, right?
Well, you know what? I thought that, but the first little bit, man, it takes. Maybe it's just me because I'm messed up in the head. But
you haven't been working until recently.
Yeah, it took me like a few hours to be like, okay, like, this is how we're gonna have to do things. Like, it's not on, like, it's on someone else's time now, not on your time. I know it sounds stupid, but honestly, when you're doing nothing for 3 weeks, everything's on your own time. There's no rush. You're not doing anything, and it's kind of crazy when you think about it like that.
I think the biggest thing about like getting back to work, and as people actually start getting back to work now that they're doing this slow re-roll of all these businesses opening, I think the biggest thing is going to be that everyone starts actually getting used to the situation at hand. And I don't mean like used to staying inside and things like that. I mean like it becomes more of a flu situation where when we say like influenza, the flu, everyone's like, oh yeah, that just happens every year, right? Yep. Like everyone gets like their yearly flu shot and it's always a thing. And I feel like that's where we're essentially going to be progressing to, because or at least that's what it feels like to me as someone who's been working constantly.
Well, I was going to say, like, as I'm seeing stores open up, like hardware stores, grocery stores are being a little bit more lenient, staying open a little bit later. I'm not saying that everyone is becoming a lot more relaxed, but I can for sure tell a big difference between the kinds of people how people were acting, 2 months ago compared to now, or even a month ago.
I don't even think it's more relaxed. It's kind of just like better adjusted. Like if you know how to stay safe, you don't necessarily have to stop doing certain things. right?
But you know
Like,
what? Not even that. And sorry to interrupt you. Not even that. I'm even thinking in the sense of like when this was really in the forefront, and I'm not saying
mm,
it's not in the forefront, but when this was really,
the
everywhere,
only thing happening.
the only thing people talked about, which it still kind of is, but when this was like in its heat, people that weren't walking 6 feet apart, some people would actually like say something, make a big stink about it.
Mm.
Now, people are going by each other, and you know what? You're just doing it as best as you can because I think people are realizing that, you know what? It's harder than people fucking think to like keep that distance, man. I don't know about you, but I'm telling you,
Some people are
outside,
getting a
maybe.
little too exact with it. That
Well, yeah,
whole,
like the whole meter stick rule, like the
yeah,
whole, the whole trying to measure out a
it's
meter
two
stick
meters.
every aisle. Come on, like
It's 2 meters.
be smart about it. Like I've been preaching this the whole time. Be
Mm-hmm.
smart about it. Don't be kissing anyone. But like if someone
Yeah.
has to sneak by you from behind you, what's the big fucking deal?
Mm-hmm. If you're sick, don't go outside.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
stay in. What are you
But
doing?
speaking about that, I know this is gonna get you fired up, but it brings me to my question. Me and a friend were talking. What's the new norm? Like when everyone goes back to work, what happens?
I actually hate that term, and not for any particular reason other than the fact that I've heard it like 50 to 60,000 times
Okay,
almost
so
daily.
if I may say this, you can just tell me, Matt, shut the fuck up. I'm done hearing
No,
about
it's not even you,
it.
man. It's not even you. It's the fact that I'm hearing it constantly from everyone. It's like this annoying little buzzword that like constantly gets thrown out. And it's not like there's any sort of actual new normal, because
Yeah.
no one's going to label, like, if people start wearing masks when they're sick, no one's going to be like, "Oh, that's just the new normal." No. It's just everything that's happening right now. It's just,
It'll be interesting how long it'll take for everyone to, I don't want to say adapt, but I want to use the word adapt into that quote unquote new way of having to do things. Like,
kind
look at
of just being blasé about it, like this is just another part of the flu.
well, look at grocery stores like Longo's, for example. I hate doing this. I know no free ads, but Longo's, a mask. Every person you come in,
Yep.
I don't care. I don't care who you are. You be the prime minister. You're in a
Same
mask.
thing with Costco.
Yeah, and I know they got hit with the COVID. Don't get me wrong. I get it. But I think that was just the start or the tip of the iceberg to where it becomes all these change. You're going to be wearing a
Well,
mask.
never mind just the masks, but there have been so many different small, like, stupid studies that
Hmm.
have come to the forefront now. And so masks, just like even a regular surgical mask, not the N95s, if you are sick and you were wearing one, your chance of transmitting it to someone who's not wearing a mask goes down to something stupid like between 10 and 6%.
Okay.
And if you're both wearing masks, it's down like almost at 1% chance of transmitting it, no matter what. So just by wearing like those surgical masks, and if every person is wearing it, then the chances go down so dramatically that it's an extreme measure, but that's something you'd like to see happen right away.
But can I tell you something that kind of, I don't want to say irritates me or upsets me about the whole mask thing, but it does kind of irk at me and it makes me kind of think about this. When I started hearing about all these new mandatory restrictions, not restrictions, but mandatory requests in the sense of
Yeah,
wearing masks, okay? How about the poor guys that can't afford that pack of 12 masks for
that's
20?
the issue.
Because what happens to those guys? What happens to those people who, you know what? They wish that they could, and yeah, okay, make one. Everyone says, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
make one. You know what? Some people don't have a fucking sewing machine. Some people don't
Oh, you
have the
don't
means,
necessarily need a sewing machine.
but not even the means to get
Yeah,
that
if
kind
you
of
don't even
material.
have the means to go, and that's where it becomes an issue. And that's where, if you do want to have a mandatory mask policy, that's where it should be a
Mhm.
no-brainer to be like, okay, provide masks.
But my thing is the health people at first, I remember when this was first coming out, the worst thing you can do, have a mask on. That was what they're preaching.
Well, that was another big issue because they realized how low hospitals were on N95s. Plus, they also didn't want people to start mass buying masks the same way they did with toilet paper
Oh, don't even get me
and
started on that.
Purell.
Well, you know what? But that brings me to my point of another thing that pisses me off about this mask thing is, or where my questions are, is the fact of, so health people are saying every time you touch your mask, okay,
Yep.
after you put it on, as soon as you touch it, It's
yeah. Right? Well, it's not useless, but it is contaminated.
Yeah, it's defective. You have to get, like, every time you touch it, it should be in the garbage. If we're doing this, by the book, right?
As properly as possible. Yeah.
Well, you're telling me that people should have, Luca, like, I touched my face I'm touching my face 20 times during this interview, and we're podcast, we're 5 minutes into it. So every time someone goes to the washroom, touches coffee, touches something, and then just whatever, touches their mask, how are you going to keep up with 30?
But here's an interesting thing. If we want to go back to this whole new normal discussion, think about how many different processes in our day are now going to be automated. Think about how much more popular automatic flushing toilets are going to be. Automatic doors are going to be everywhere. Automatic sinks, like paper towel dispensers, all these different things where you touch a door handle. Even elevators are probably going to get some sort of autonomy.
I guarantee you it's going to turn into a thing where you step in and you're like, open. You say open and it opens. You say close, it closes. You say 11, it takes up to 11. It's going to be next level.
Even like the only thing you can't really update is money, unless they just say screw it, no cash.
Well, my question for you is how much AI and automation can you really have? Because I'm listening to a podcast with Elon Musk, and he just did another one after he had his baby. We can talk about that fucking name. I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's pronounced Kyle.
It was like, I know, like, the 12 represents the archangel of some fucking flight.
Well, all the different symbols are translated, I believe, through Latin.
Different meanings. But anyways, I'm listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
And he's going off about a plan about installing a chip in your brain, in your skull, okay? Jesus. They cut out a piece of your skull and install this chip, restores memory, restores dementia, Alzheimer's, fixes all your problems. I'm pretty sure that this thing would just make you live forever. Like, I'm not saying it cures everything.
Well, no, it would probably just compensate for whatever part of your brain is lacking.
But I think people should listen to it.
Why didn't they have that when we were in school?
That's what I'm saying. What the fuck? Wouldn't that have been a nice option to have?
Holy shit, they're going to have to make school completely hands-on, because now whenever you look at something, the chip Elon Musk is putting in your brain is just going to tell you the answer.
100%. No, but that's the thing, is it's going to be like robots, and I'm not full on robots, but if you're telling me you're going to fix Alzheimer's and give people memory back,
that would be insane.
Come on, that's insane. That is insane.
That's a crazy claim.
Well, the funny thing is, they asked him, hey, would you try this? And this fucking bastard said, yeah, after, we do a few and we see how long they go and all that kind of fun stuff. Sure, absolutely. And I thought, you know what? This guy would put it in 2 million, 3 million people and see how they will last before you'd even touch himself.
Hey, man, that's what they do. You do the clinical trial first. You see if anyone's got allergies or anything to it, any bad side effects.
Figure it out from there.
If any iRobot situation happens, a bunch of them rise up and try to kill you.
Can you imagine? I would die so fast. It'd be so
what would you be more scared of? An iRobot situation where you're dealing against a mass like big group of like
robotics?
Robotics, like trying to protect you.
Yeah.
Or like something like a zombie apocalypse.
Tough question. I think the robot thing scares me just because they'd be smarter than like everyone. Like, I think I'd be smart and come up with a weapon to kill them, and they already came up with that 4 times better.
Yeah.
The zombie thing only makes me nervous because, I people won't give me my 6 feet. Those zombies won't give a shit. They won't keep 6 feet away.
Holy crap! 6 feet.
But no, I'm gonna say,
let me bust your balls on this one.
What?
Do you not? Again, new normal. Do you not think people should have already been ingrained with some of these things? Like,
sorry, no, stop right there. The washing of your hands. If you say washing your hands,
no, I'm not going to say washing your hands, because if anyone who knows me knows I've been beating that dead horse mercilessly.
No, but not even that. Like, I get it. Like, as a kid, it's a nag. Mm. But you're telling me, like, not even on your own, like, put the nagging aside, like, no one ever thought, like, maybe I should fucking be washing my hands all the time.
But it's not just, like, before meals. It's, like, after everything. It's almost to an excessive point. that you technically should be washing your hands.
No, the washing your hands thing, like I think the Purell thing's a little bit
No,
nuts.
Purell's good because it substitutes those situations where like let's say you're working in an office job, you're just typing away on your computer the entire day, right? Um you got an itchy nose or something, you can feel an eyelash, just Purell your hands instead of needing to go to the bathroom, wash your hands, then try and take an eyelash out. That's where the Purell helps.
No, fair. But I'm saying to the extent where people are using it, like they touch their car, Purell.
Yeah.
They touch their steering wheel, Purell. They touch their
or the Lysol wipes. Everything's getting Lysol wipes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's where the biggest waste is going. It's like, okay, like wait till you get fucking home. Like, you're gonna keep touching shit until you get home. Like, I don't understand the point. But anyways, sorry. Go on though. My bad for interrupting.
No, it's fine. And if anyone is actually keeping track of the drinking game, that's at least 2 to 3 drinks that just went down there. Matt interrupted me. Did you give a shout out there? We shouted out Purell, I guess, about 17 times.
What did you say? What did you say when you saw that drinking game again? You said, "Oh, obviously."
You can tell. I'll post it hopefully soon.
Yeah.
But if you see the rules of this drinking game and you think anyone except Matt wrote them, you're crazy.
You're
absolutely crazy.
You need to see the doctor.
It's like just even the language in it. Just it's brutal.
It's not that it's bad language. Just
it's you can hear Matt's voice.
Exactly.
It's the way Matt talks.
It's coming out of his mouth. That's
yeah. He used like his phone. He was too lazy to actually type, so he used his phone's voice recorder and just talked into the speaker. Like,
that's another thing. So with this AI stuff, do you not think like when all these people that are talking to Alexa and Google Play or Google, whatever the fuck those things are called, all those machines are learning your voice commands, or learning how you speak, learning how you communicate, learning your tones.
Yeah,
that is like. Are people not already, I guess, adapting to AI like as is? You know what I mean?
A lot of people are scared of it. Like,
yeah, I don't blame them.
Let me give you a situation. Like, love my sister, love her to death. She's one of the smartest people I actually know. She can put her head down and learn a bunch of stuff. She's got a biochemistry degree.
Yep. Not a big
deal. But lacks some common sense and clear reasoning. Like, she was freaking out one day because she was working in vicinity with her friends at her school. And one of her friends was looking up and talking about buying some sort of product. And then she was freaking out because the next day on Instagram or whatever, or on Facebook, she got an ad for that product. And I was like, okay, think about it. And not a lot of people actually think about it. Are you friends with this person on Facebook? Yes. Was this person Googling or doing any sort of search about this product? Yes. Are you in the same location as them? Like, is your phone location on? And is their phone location on, or your laptop location on? Yes. So it doesn't take a genius or a real complicated AI program to say, if this person is friends with this person, they're hanging out together, they're in the same location, one of them wants, let's say, a bicycle, then most likely the other one's going to want a bicycle as well.
The thing that I don't understand, Luca, is it's not even like a business thing, or I don't even know what you want to call it. Like, I feel as if I'm talking now, especially nowadays, I'm talking to more people about that.
Yeah.
Like, people are so clueless in the sense of, Matt, you won't believe it. I had the same pair of skates I was talking about with my brother. As soon as I logged into my Instagram, it was right there.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, I hear that all too often. Oh, I was talking about something and then I got an ad for it. But were you only talking about it?
Listen, like I said, when Matter Flow came on, again, great interview. If people haven't listened to that one, that's the one that's going to hit this podcast off the rocker here.
Surprisingly good interview.
Yeah, surprisingly good. But like, I don't want to sound like Matter Flow here with get the conspiracies flowing. But you know what? Yeah, I can go behind the phones listening to you, sure. Because every time I say, hey, my Siri turns on, and every time I start a phone call that's on my work phone, and I go, hey, opens up, hey, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what the fuck? Where are you coming from?
Well, that's also because you've enabled a function on your phone that allows it to actively listen to you. A lot of people also
Don't give
don't
me that. Don't give me
realize
that,
that
because
they can deny
that's
that.
my only reason why I listen to you.
You know which one actually kills me the most? And the joke I love
Give
the
it to me.
most about it, the whole the people who put a piece of tape over their laptop camera, and it's like the government's watching me. I'm sorry, but if the government is watching every single person through their laptop cameras, they're watching a lot of university students stress study. They're watching a lot of old people figuring out how to use Facebook.
Or
They're watching a
someone,
lot of teachers grading papers,
or
and most of
someone,
all, they're
someone.
watching a lot of people masturbate.
Well, not even that. Someone who's got their like me at night when I got my computer right up against my face, watching a little bit of Netflix before I sleep, and I got 4 chins in my fucking
Yeah.
face while half asleep. Yeah,
What
100%.
information are they actually getting from you? Who are you?
Obviously, they're just keeping track of all the Netflix shows that I'm just binge watching nowadays. But
It's
speaking of Netflix, that's where I saw something. I remember preaching this at hockey with all the guys. It was a documentary. I don't remember the name of the documentary, but it was based on a company called Cambridge Analytica.
yes, I know which
I don't know
one
if you
you're
remember
talking
this.
about. The big hack. The big hack.
Big hack. And this documentary series, whatever you want to call it, they explained how they manipulate voters and manipulate. And I'm not trying to get
Yeah,
political.
how they track them
How
down, how they
how you
all
how you get
these
the
they
propaganda.
know every little pattern. Like if it's
What
raining
nobody
outside, you're more likely to want to do this. This
and
guy's most likely going to lean this way, like
but
crazy stuff.
I'm not saying this because I like the documentary again. Don't get me wrong, but I think people need to open their eyes to that kind of that kind of side of things. Because I'm telling you, if you just watch that for the hour and a half that it is, it's gonna fucking open your mind to so many things.
Honestly, Matt, there's a couple easiest ways if you actually think you're being tracked and you don't want to be. Some of the easiest things you can do right off the bat: turn your location off on all your devices.
You know what's crazy about the location thing though, Luca?
What?
You should see the kids. I shouldn't even call them kids, but you should see the people that are, that younger generation, that those young adults, those teenagers that have the phones and all that fun stuff.
Yep.
You should see them on the Snapchat location,
Yeah.
posting photos, the exact location where they posted the photo.
Yeah.
Do you not think about I wonder why give out that much privacy?
But then again, why do you really care?
Well, that's the devil's advocate.
Like if you actually think about it, would you rather live worried and like having a VPN only running incognito mode, no location, no speaking to the outside public, and making sure your IP address is never tied down, only using like a burner phone and shit like that, and actually being off the grid? Is it worth the effort that it impacts how you want to live?
But
Because day to day, what am I? You kind of got to ask yourself, like, who am I realistically, and not in a bad way, right? It's not like, oh, you're unimportant. Why do you think someone's going to listen to you? Do you really think they're going to put all that money into it? The Cambridge Analytica one's really good because it shows you the actual application of this big data mining.
how they read it and all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, and what they would actually potentially use it for. It's mostly voting, politics, things like that. It's mostly what would you want to buy. It's not. They don't actually want to know about you.
I'm just saying. I think to branch off of what you're saying,
What?
it is still a problem, and I still think people give out way more information than they should. Like, think of the people that are paying their debits and their visas on their phone, man. Like they have your phone has.
But that's again why I go back to Matt. There's ways to circumvent that risk. Like I was saying, if you really are worried about your data being out there, if you're searching Google for something important, use incognito mode. The incognito mode means there's no search history and no cookies that will be loaded onto whatever device you're using.
Interesting.
Turn your locations off if you can, so you can't be tracked and except by something like cell signal. If you're really worried, you invest in a VPN. VPN means that you can't be that you're not region locked, you can't be trapped in. And if you're really, really worried, buy a burner phone and just remember everyone's phone number, because
Listen, if I buy a burner phone, that's when I'm gonna start turning into like a trap god. I'm just gonna start whipping it up on the
but Matt, realistically, like your phone's only going to be listening for certain keywords, and something like Siri only listens for like specifics in terms of
commands, like specific commands in that sense.
specific commands and words. So like if you have Siri with the ability to like play music, it's going to listen for every instance of you saying play Apple Music or like a specific artist.
That brings me to my point from what I was saying before of, don't you think, like, without us already knowing it, okay, like without it being, maybe me being ignorant because maybe people knew this as it was happening,
Yeah.
but don't you think, like, the way our phones are learning us, dude, like our phones are learning everything about us.
And while that's scary, I always try to keep in mind, like, what's it really learning? My phone's just learning how I speak,
But that's
what I'm interested in, and that's it.
But that's a question that, okay, for me and you, yeah, okay, you know what? If we're playing the transparent game here, what do me and you use our phones for? Either to call someone, to text someone, to look up music, or to watch porn. That's the four things that
Pretty
we do.
much, man.
Other than
I prefer to use my laptop, bigger screen, HD screen, but preferences, man.
That's fair. That's a good opinion on that one. But other than that, fine. Luca, there's people, I'm telling you, there's people out there. I know people that they literally have every ounce of personal information on them. And I question, like, I'm not trying to sound crazy. I'm not trying to sound like
no, I think people who put their credit card numbers, their passwords and things like that, I think they're crazy.
Yeah, like, what do you, like, I know what are the odds. Yeah, you're talking about before, if the government was watching all of us, what's the point? Yeah, I get that. But, it takes one click of a button. It takes one fucking wrong porn website to click where you go, oh, well, there goes my savings account.
Well, actually, now I don't know what bank you're with, but I'm with CIBC, and they are pretty on point. This is probably going to be my first shout out. Don't know if that's accurate, but first shout out here. I got to thank the people over at CIBC because they are actually really on top of their game in terms of me being able to lock my account if I think there's suspicious activity, but they as well are immediately on top of locking my account and sending me a new card and everything really easy. I got a call randomly. I was in Walmart buying some headphones on Black Friday.
Interesting.
And I get a call from CIBC. Hey, we just noticed a couple suspicious purchases on your account. We just want to go through your credit history and make sure everything's kosher. And they went through everything, and there were a couple on there that I was like, yeah, I definitely did not make that purchase. One of them was like a 200 Amazon order. I don't think I've ordered anything from Amazon in my life.
Yeah.
And so before I was even able to look at it and know, they already locked my account out. Yeah, we're sending you a new card. It should be there in like 2 to 6 business days. You'll be refunded the money. Like, all transactions have been canceled. Like, so
first of all, that's a great shout out to CIBC. They're for sure getting a few more new clients coming off of this pod. But you know what? It's funny that you say that because I was just about to say CIBC. I actually know 3 or 4 people. I swear to God, they just made the switch from CIBC to either. I think 3 of them went to RBC, 1 went to TD.
Or, you know what I've been hearing a lot of people switching to? Simply.
Oh, don't give me that. You know what? We have a friend that did that, and he was trying to convince me that.
But here's the thing.
I can't go
Simply,
to a teller.
Simply is literally CIBC, just like without the CIBC label.
No, but it's all no teller, no customer service, no face-to-face customer service. I can't be like that. Like, I need to.
But you know what, Matt? I kind of like that.
Really?
Because let me hit you with this one. What insurance do you use for your car?
Bel Air. Shouts out to Bel Air.
Shouts out to Bel Air. Sure. I use Sonnet. No physical locations, nothing like that. And it's cheaper on my end. And I get fully covered for everything I need to be covered for.
I like having I'll be honest with you, I'm old fashioned in the sense of I like knowing that I have the option of talking to a real human being
Yeah.
and going to talk
Well,
to someone and explaining my situation face to face situation.
face to face, I understand. I'm just saying I'd be a hypocrite if I said like our friend is stupid for thinking,
No, yeah.
oh, like I don't need to tell her. I can't say that because I have insurance with Sonnet. I'm doing the
Well,
exact same thing with my
no,
insurance.
but speaking of insurance, 2 months ago when no one was driving on the road, I didn't get an email about my insurance going down. I didn't get anything.
Yeah.
Now, like a week ago, I just got an email. Oh, because of COVID, we can get 15% off, which is nothing, but thank you anyways. It's something, I guess.
Yeah.
Where was this like 2 months ago? Now I'm gonna be driving again. What the fuck is the point of that now? Everything's going
Hey,
seems
gas is going back up too.
okay.
Watch out.
Yeah, I saw 89 cents.
And you know what? That's the only thing that's making me kind of want to switch to RBC. That 3 cents off a liter at Petro Canada.
Listen, and it's not like it's like Husky gas or freaking Pine.
No, it's
gas.
Petro. It's
nice
just
gas.
it's just good gas. It's just good gas.
It's nice gas.
It's not Shell gasoline, but it's gas.
Listen, so you're saying Shell's better than Petro in your opinion?
Yeah, dude. Like Shell's actually like Shell's that like extra cent to cent and a half more expensive because what they add to it is actually better.
Listen,
why do you think Shell gasoline is the exclusive gasoline of like Formula One and shit?
No, I was just about to say, yeah, I know they fucking sponsor Ferrari and all those bastards, but I'm just saying.
There's a reason why.
There's obviously I just have a little bit because it's Canadian. I want Petro Canada to be number one.
Oh no, I go exclusively to Petro Canada. Like we've already discussed, there's one specific gas station. My favorite gas station.
Oh, we're not dropping the location of that. No.
Why can't we drop the location? We got to give it to our viewers.
I'm not waiting in line behind 20 degenerates and jabronis that we just mentioned off the pod. I'm gonna sit behind them in the gas station. No way.
It's already a pretty busy gas station. You think it's gonna get that much busier?
We're gonna drop the location. I'm gonna have to see all these people from Bolton coming up there commuting there. Give me a break.
Hey, you want to hear a crazy gas story? Actually, get this. So when I went to Italy to visit my family, I think this was back 2018, maybe.
Sorry to interrupt you, but could you read the gas signs that were there?
Yeah.
I couldn't understand any of that.
That's fine.
Sorry, go ahead.
Went to go visit him. My cousin turns to me one day, we're just hanging out, and he says, "Hey, do you want to come get gas with me?" And I was like, "What's so special about going to get gas?" He's like, "We're going to Czechoslovakia." Or I'm pretty sure he said Slovakia.
Yeah.
I was like, why the fuck are we going to Slovakia? It's actually because they're in North Italy and gas is taxed so much higher in Northern Italy than in Southern Italy. It's cheaper for him to drive to Slovakia to the gas station that's literally, Matt, like maybe 100 meters across the border, fill up, and then drive back.
You bring your passport or anything? Nothing.
Nope. Matt, passport.
Let's just fucking over here. Wow. Okay, so what's the difference? What would you say? $1? Like, what's the difference?
Oh my God, no! It was like 30 cents a liter cheaper. Easy.
Holy shit.
Yeah, well worth the trip to Slovakia.
That's what I was gonna say. How long was the trip? 10 minutes, you said?
No, it took us like 15, 20, but like, what do I care?
What is that? You don't even burn that off by the time you get back home.
No, you don't even come close.
Because you're overfilling it, Andre. That's what I do. I'm overfilling it.
And it's all highway.
Yeah, those guys don't fuck around either. They drive like 140. There's no speed limit over there. They're doing 140, 160.
Oh, are you kidding?
Stupid.
Yeah. My cousin in the car with me. Hey man, do you want to have a beer before we go? No.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna pass on the grappa shots before we go on a fucking 3-hour road trip. No, thank you.
I don't know about your experiences with your family in Europe, but my family specifically in Europe, constantly, or just something is being drank. We get there last time, and we're in the back room of the auto shop just having beers. Like we go over to someone's house and it's a different bottle of wine for dinner. At night when we go out to a club, we're drinking. Like, oh my God.
I think it's. Someone asked me if I drank more in Europe than I do when I go on an all-inclusive vacation. I think I actually drink more at all inclusive. To be honest with you, just a
No,
little
not a
convenient.
chance.
Really?
Not a chance.
So much more convenient. Get up from my beach chair. I go fucking walk over to the bar. I'll take 2 Mai Tais. Thank you very much.
You know
Ghost
what?
of
But I think it's something that you just don't think about how much you drink. I don't know. Maybe I'm making my family sound like a bunch of alcoholics. Maybe it's just me. But I just think the fact that they're so blasé about it with the open carry and everything. I think you may.
That's why I don't understand how people they say like, oh, I could never live in Europe. What do you mean you could never? It's like the most laissez-faire place in the world.
You know, I may sound like a prick now because I keep name dropping places I've been, but
wait, tell me you didn't think that you sounded like a prick already prior to you saying that.
Okay, I get it, but like most people have been on vacation somewhere, maybe not Italy, but like
no, drop the prick bomb. I'll give it.
Now I'm gonna sound like a prick.
Yeah, give it to me.
So when I went to Germany,
nice, Viva la Deutschland.
We were in Munich.
Okay.
Gave you a nice, not like a Stein, but a nice mug of beer.
Mm-hmm.
They let you take it with you.
Yeah, you go for a stroll.
Take the glass. No, take the glass. We were like, what? They don't even let you have glass at like concerts and sporting events in Toronto.
I can't even have the, you
don't even get the lid to your water bottle.
Yeah, but what's the thing on the beer can? I guess what's the
tab, the little tab.
The tab. They take the tabs off. What am I gonna do with that tab? What am I gonna do with the tab? Throw it at my neighbor? Like, no, but yeah, you can like. It's crazy how laissez-faire they are compared to like restrictions that we have over here. Big time, 100%.
Yeah, no, but you're completely right. People are like, "Oh, I can never live in Europe." The only reason you can never live in Europe is because like maybe you're picking the wrong country. Like,
yeah, okay, I'm not living in fucking Albania. Maybe
sorry, I don't want to move. No, I don't want to move to Greece and just transport myself into an economic depression.
I feel terrible. I'm sure Albania is a great country. I should do some research on that. But
no, you picked the first thing that came to your head.
Yeah, probably not my top 5 choices on places to relocate.
Give me like a top 5 places you want to visit.
This is easy. Okay, so top 5.
Doesn't even have to be in Europe. Anywhere.
Oh, anywhere? Oof. Okay, I'll do countries because cities are a little more.
No, cities is a little complicated.
I'll probably have to say Germany, Sweden, Norway. I know Scandinavia kind of turns me on for some reason. Sweden, Norway. I've always had this weird hankering with going to Portugal, like living in Portugal, as well as possibly England. Like, I just love the culture in England.
Really?
Yeah,
you're like completely Euro trip. Like you want. Yeah. Your dream vacation is just backpacking across Europe, eh?
Yeah, I probably sound like an 18-year-old kid that just graduated high school, but yeah, those would be
No. If you would you want to go full 18-year-old girl fresh out of high school, getting mom and daddy to pay you a trip. I'm gonna go to Barcelona, then we're gonna visit Paris, and then we're gonna go. Yeah,
that's Amsterdam. I heard it's fun. There's this district I want.
Oh my god! Did you hear that they let you have pot brownies?
No, not even that. There's this red light district. It's gonna go so well with my fucking Instagram posts that I'm looking to post. It's gonna be.
Oh my god, the lighting here is beautiful.
It's awesome. Like
you can tell. Everyone listening can tell me and Matt secretly have like 15-year-old girls inside us.
No, not even that. You can tell that we have like 30 people that are currently traveling all over our Instagram and just posting Gucci, Fendi, Prada photos all over while we're stuck in recording this podcast in our basement. That's what we're.
Me and Matt aren't cynical at all about having to pay our own way through school and not having money to vacation.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone. Shouts up to the hard knocks.
If anyone's riding with us, me and Matt, we're planning a road trip. We're planning a road trip. Where, Matt?
No, we don't know yet. I wanted to say Philadelphia. I remember.
Yeah, our grand road trip for after university was Philadelphia. Nothing against Philly, but like,
guys, you know what? Something to ask the listeners. Tell me where we should go on a road trip. I would like to know, other than fucking Buffalo, New York, like the places like we've been a million times. Okay, give me something that is a little bit off the map. Like, come on.
Yeah, but you don't want to go to those off the map places that I want to go to.
Well, no, I'm not going to like Omaha or Oklahoma. No, I'm not going
Oh
down
no,
there.
not there.
Or South Bend, wherever the
No,
fuck.
I'd want to. You know where I'd want to drive to, Matt?
Where?
I'd want to go somewhere like PEI or like those like the
Yeah,
real
yeah.
coastal.
And we've talked about that, and I've had lots of friends that have been out east, and they say
It's beautiful.
like not even that it's beautiful. Look at the people there. Like I'm sure that it's kind of like when you go to Europe. The people there, the way their mindsets are, the way they act are a lot different.
You know
And
what?
it's refreshing to be with that kind of crowd.
They are probably where Canada gets its reputation of being really nice from,
Well,
because
you know where I heard was the hot spot of where to go in the east?
where
Halifax.
really
I heard
Halifax.
Halifax is the place to be. And I thought it was a fucking dead zone to be not dead zone, but like a kind of like a bigger Hamilton in that sense, like maybe a little bit more down by the water though.
Eehee.
And that's what I'm saying. Like no one wants to go do that. But the 4 or 5 people that I've had go down there for family vacations or even just to visit family there, they fucking love
No,
it.
I've even had a close personal friend who's just gone to PEI for like a week or so with the girlfriend, saying
Yep.
like it was one of the best vacations he's ever been on. Never mind just like vacations within Canada, just like best period.
In general. And that's great but that's good to hear, man. You know what I mean? It gives us a little bit something to look forward to. It makes me think like, you know what, at least people aren't coming to all these people aren't just traveling to Toronto, Winnipeg, Woodford.
Yeah, but then there's the problem. It costs us as much to fly to somewhere like BC as it does for us to go to London, England.
I'm not having that conversation. If we're gonna compare the cost of me taking a flight from London to Germany cost me less than taking a taxi from Toronto to fucking Bolton. Crazy.
And that's why we need to road trip it. So that's why we need people to send us the best road trip ideas or where you would like to see us road trip it.
Recommended cities. You know what we should do? We should do like a little like road trip where when this is all over, obviously, we got a road trip and just like we'll record like all the shit that happens. We'll just post it all. We'll just make content out of it.
We have a little bit too much fun when we just go out and listen to other people.
Yeah, when it turns into a like when it turns into when we get a few adult beverages, I'll call them deep. We start observing. That's for sure. We lay back a little bit more and just start listening to what's.
You know what? I think we've been going on for a little bit now, so I don't think we'll have time to fit the story in because this one needs almost its own episode.
No, 100%. If I know.
But do you remember when we went to what was it? Firehouse Wings?
No, see, fake news. Duff's Wings on College.
Duff's
Wings on College. That's Matt's go-to wing spot if anyone ever wants to know.
Do you remember what happened at Duff's Wings?
I remember what happens at Duff's Wings, and I'll be honest with you, when we get into that next episode, or whenever this episode will air, the story is, I guarantee you there's going to be people that either stop listening to the podcast right after this, or they're going to have their jaws drop listening to what some just out of nowhere Monday. That'd be a Monday, right? We used to go on Mondays.
No, this was a Friday because we were celebrating.
Yes. Okay. So on
Matt got his first job. Non-via trailers.
Non-via first real job. Let's call it a real job. The title.
Outside of Bolton.
Outside of Bolton. After making his way around every establishment in this town, he finally got the graphic.
After trying to be a line cook in every restaurant in Bolton, Matt finally gets a job.
You know, we got to talk about that one day. We got to talk about all the fridges that I used to eat food in. Like, that's disgusting. That I was probably should have worked on that, the cleanliness on that. But like I said, man, hey, you know what? This is another great pod. I hope everyone's subscribing to the pod on YouTube, keeping up with the Twitter and the Instagram. Obviously, hey, shouts out to Luca here for getting the Instagram going. It's looking great. Obviously, a lot of followers, and we'll keep the content coming with that drinking game too. Keep people.
We'll post the rules to the drinking game. Maybe you can play it sometime. It's definitely one to get you loaded.
You know what? While you're listening to these our stupid voices. Why don't you give yourself something to do and have a little bit of fun with it? You know what I mean?
Well, it's been lovely hearing your voice today.
Man, you know what? It felt like forever since the last time we did a pod, but hey, let's keep the ball rolling here and let's keep everything moving.
So everybody, just before we round off, next week we're hoping to get our good friend David in.
Yep.
Hoping to get David in. We're going to talk about some sports. Raptors and all professional teams are starting to go back to training, so hope is on the horizon.
That will be interesting.
We promised the Duff's Wings story.
Yes.
That'll have to come in a podcast eventually.
That's going to be controversial.
I don't know. What else is there?
That is it. We're going to be firing these off every Monday. We're trying to get on a routine here. And, hey, you know what? Maybe we can get some more conspiracy theories getting rolling on here again.
As always, if you want us to talk about anything or you got any ideas, any people you want us to get on the podcast, see how they deal with two jabronis, hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, or if you know us, text us. We'll get them on. We'll talk about it. Give us a like and a subscribe on the YouTube. Like and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. As always, I've been Luca.
I'm Matt.
Have a wonderful day. Ciao.
See you guys.